going, guys? Welcome to Ambro's Landscaping YouTube channel. In today's video, we're back at the hedge. We're on day 2. I wasn't actually planning on recording today, but I decided to do that. A little bit of another late start. More things. I had to get approval for certain things on the house at the courthouse. Had to do that, meet with some contractors. So it is another late day, but that's okay because we're at the end of the season where things are kind of slowing down a little bit. So I'm able to take that time and do it. So let me show you real quick what I got going on right behind me with the hedge. Now, as you guys have probably seen in the past, we have our string line. I have it tied over there down to some cones to hold it up. And I got these big, I don't know if they're 2x2 posts or like 1x1 or whatever you want to call them. And I have the string running all the way across to where it is now level. So I got one on one side, one on the other. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring this down about a foot. That's what they were wanting. And so if you guys seen in my previous video, especially my biggest hedge trimming job, that seemed to have taken off. It's got like well over 100,000 views. But what we're going to do first is to make sure this string line stays straight. We're going to cut with the hedge trimmer. We're going to cut that line right above it. That way we know what we're dealing with. And for a little helpful tip when doing these kind of things, really the edges along the front and the back, you want to make sure that those are as straight as possible, because on the inside, if you cut the branches a little bit lower, you're not going to see it because this is your face right here. So if this is a little higher, on the middle is a little bit lower, you won't even notice, just because, especially at the height of the shrub as well. Now, if this was ground level, if this was about 4 feet, you're going to want to make sure that was even all the way across. But on the top, you can kind of sink in a little bit more in the middle. So anyways, got to get the hedge trimmer all started, and let's get going. How's it going, guys? Welcome to Ambro's Landscaping YouTube channel. Today's video, we're doing another riding shotgun. We're at the same job that we have been at the past 2 jobs. And so we finished the one big hedge that we were working on. Now we're on the next 2. So I'll flip my camera around, show you guys what we got going on. All right, guys, so this is the first hedge right here, as you can see. It is a fairly tall hedge, as similar to the other one. But I have I'll show you that in a second. This is the second one right here. Now this one's not necessarily a hedge, but we're basically just going to trim it up as we did last time. These ones are going to go a lot faster just because we don't have a fence to work on the other side. And then on this side, since it's just grass, we can just let the clippings or the debris just fall on the ground and then rake it up rather than throwing a tarp down. But we will have to do it on the other side because there is a lot of this this nugget mulch. And I talked about this in my previous video. So they call this the nugget size. This is like the medium nugget. And you can see like something like this, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to rake out all the debris. So typically what we will do in a situation like this is, if we don't put a tarp down, then we just take a blower over this and lightly we'll try to pick all the big pieces out and then lightly take a blower and blow it back underneath the shrub or throw it into grass. But basically we're going to be using this today. I typically use my diesel. I got my diesel over here with my big enclosed trailer, and I work out of the diesel truck because it's a big, flat bed, and I just put a ladder back there. But this one, I already had the platform all made. I had this set up for my house for doing my siding. So I thought, heck, I'll just bring it over here. So we have, one set of scaffolding, and I made a platform up there. And so this is going to be a little bit easier just because I have a bigger platform compared to working on a ladder. It's a little bit safer as well. And so I'm just going to take this and go up against the hedge. So what we're going to do first is, this hedge is not as bad, but we're going to trim off the sides first. We're going to trim this whole side, and then that way we can get the truck up right against it. If the branches were a little bit bigger, it would make more sense. I don't have to necessarily do that at first, but I'm just gonna do it instead. Let me see, it's a little dark, there it is. So that's what we're gonna do right now. So like I said, we'll get the hedge trimmer, start trimming this guy up, and we'll get to work. So let's go ahead and get started. All right guys, so we're a little bit into the day. I got a little bit of work done, so let me show you what we've gotten done so far. So we were just gonna do the regular trimming on these shrubs right here, but it looks like the client wanted to bring it down another foot. Whew, if it sounds like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. So I'm hauling these big branches out of the shrub, because I usually like to jump in there. So as you guys can see, we're trimming them down a foot, and then we're bringing them down an additional foot. That way next year it's a little bit easier to maintain. So it's kind of hard to see. So let me go ahead and get up on the Chevy and I'll give you a better view. Here we go. So as you guys can see, I'm up here on my platform. Way easier, especially with having to take out a little bit more now. It is a lot easier to use this platform than if I were to work at the diesel. So I'm just kind of eyeballing this because the ground level here is even. And so I'm just kind of going based off of around my waist, kind of keeping it as even as possible. That way we'll get a nice even cut. As you guys can see, just kind of doing it a little at a time, it's slowly getting there. And you're better off cutting the inside a little bit shorter than the outsides. That way that's looking good to go. So what I did was I brought this 14-foot pressure treated board. This was actually a leftover board I had for building my deck on my shop. Oh, I'm sorry, my house. So what I'm actually doing is I'm using it as a plank because this is it's not that dense. So I'm able to kind of throw it into the middle of the shrub and actually walk into the middle and then cut that edge instead of having to do it on the other side, because the other side's all bark and planter beds. So I'm trying to do as much work over here as possible. That way I don't have to get up on a ladder over there. So we just kind of push the board into the shrub. I'm able to walk out there, cut all that, and then take all the big branches and throw them into the diesel. As you guys can see, it's filling up pretty fast. So got this section completely finished. So now, and we're also gonna have to do the same thing to this one. This one's gonna be a lot more difficult because I can't get my truck to it because of the rocks. So anyway, so time to move up, and hello Shadow. Time to move up and get this next section done. So let's go ahead and get that done. So we are basically on our last little stretch here. As you guys can see, we probably have another like 20 feet, 15 feet to go. 20 feet, yeah, because it's about 20 feet. And so we're gonna get this done. At least we're gonna get the top section done, depending on how we're looking on time. I don't think we're gonna get the other section done, but that's completely fine. We're gonna have to come back another day to finish that other side anyway. So anyways, hope you guys are enjoying the video so far and some of the tricks and tips, but let's get this thing finished. So that is it, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you learned a lot. And like I said, I'm going to try to get some more riding shotguns out. A lot of them aren't going to be, well, since the mowing season's done, really a lot of it's just going to be some hedge trimming. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying the videos. But anyways, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And like I say, always be original.